Hey, what's up? We're going to talk about finding the will to live even when you feel like you don't have it. And this is so important to me because I'm a suicide survivor times, however many times you want to count. You know, um, my last attempt was in 2012, the summer of 2012, and I talk about that in previous videos. But I felt like wanting to quit, wanting to throw in the towel, wanting to end my life, wanting to not be on this planet, wanting to not be around anybody so many times throughout my life, like so many times. And I've had to find the inner strength and allow God to pull me through and lean on relationships in order to not stay in that place. And so I want to talk about this today and let you know on the front end that if you're having those thoughts of harming yourself or harming others, I put the suicide prevention hotline in the description of this video. Reach out to them, Google, or keep watching this video over and over and over again until you break out of that pattern. But whatever you do, break out. Don't stay there. Reach out to somebody, ask for help, because I'm telling you, depression loves silence. It multiplies in silence. Like it grows in darkness, it multiplies in silence. So when it's in darkness and you have nobody to talk to and you isolate yourself to the point where nobody really knows what's really going on with you, it just grows and grows and grows. And then you shut your mouth, you stop speaking up, you stop being vulnerable and vocalizing. You know what happens? It starts to multiply, and then you really don't want to be here, and you really don't want to be here, and you really don't be here. But when you decide that, you know what, I don't care what other people are going to think about me, I don't even care about how embarrassed I am that I'm having these thoughts or these feelings, but I'm going to get help because I need help. I'm telling you, it breaks the thought pattern and it brings you into the light and out of the silence, and it provides some relief to your life and your mental health. So that's my first tip is get out of silence. Stop holding it to yourself. Stop saying, I don't want to burden anybody else with my problems, because I'm telling you, people love to help others. There's good people out there in the world. No, not everybody on this that you know in your relationship circle is going to see you crying out for help and ignore that need. I'm glad you're still here. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're tuning in. So not everybody is going to ignore that need. So you got to put it out there, and it feels good just to get it out of the darkness. It feels good just to get it off of your chest, to know like, I put it out there in the world, and now they know how I really feel about me or how I really feel about this situation. And that is the key to getting the help that I need. I tell people all the time that vulnerability is like a Batman signal for love. The way, if you want more love in your life, more fulfillment in your life, you've got to put out a stronger signal of vulnerability, because it attracts love. It tells the world that you need love to rush in. So when it comes to finding the will to live when you don't have it, I'm telling you, you've got to come out of silence. I'm telling you, you've got to develop relationships with people. You've got to model vulnerability in order to get the true love that you need. Sometimes the reason why people are just like, oh, it's okay, you'll be all right, is not just because they don't know what to say. It's because you're not being vulnerable enough. The way that someone responded to Daryl Stinson, me, when I was saying for every dark night, there's a brighter day, or going through a really tough time, or really miss sports, is much different than they would have responded if I would have said, I'm having thoughts about harming myself. I don't feel like being here. I don't feel like anyone cares about me. Does anyone care about me? That's vulnerable. That's more vulnerable. That's more transparent. But that is what attracts the actual words that I was looking for. I was getting mad at people for being like, oh, it's okay. Like, Daryl, you got this. Or you've got a lot to be grateful for. I was mad at them because I wasn't the one who was being vulnerable enough. And so, like, I know this is kind of contradictory to like, hey, Daryl, you're like yelling at people who are depressed and in suicide. I'm like, sometimes you need that part of it too. And this is why I tell people like mental health and high performance, like I don't separate the two, but to me, they're combined, because I believe in breath work. I believe in seeing a counselor. I believe in having the right nutrition, diet, and exercise. Like, I believe in cognitive restructuring. I believe in somatic work and healing trauma through the body. Like, I believe in all that stuff. But I also believe there. I didn't knock my screen out. That's hilarious. Hold on. I'm here, y'all. I promise I'm here. I'm getting too passionate. I'm sorry. That's why I love live, because you can't hide live mistakes. Okay, here we back. But I also believe that there's a time where you need to be told to hold your head up, to lift your chin high, to broaden your shoulders, to get some strength in your back, and to keep going when it gets tough. Like I can only make myself feel so good in isolation and stagnation. I've got to move some things. I've got to put my voice out there. I've got to show people my gift. I've got to do some things to be productive and to build self-esteem and confidence. Not that all my self-esteem comes from my accomplishments, because my identity doesn't have to be tied to my activity or what I do, but it gives me a sense of relief. It's the same thing. The same science that goes into when you wake up in the morning. You know, sometimes we have a tendency to think about everything that's wrong in our life, our email list, the clients we haven't responded to yet, yada, 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 yada. But when you make your bed in the morning, it shifts your energy and it gives you a win. It's the same way. Like when you are in depression and you're having suicidal thoughts about yourself, and breath work isn't working, and counseling isn't working, or videos might not be working, get off your butt, move. Like, get out the house, get off Netflix, go be you to the world. Oh, but I don't feel like it. I'm depressed. And I'm like, I know, but that's what breaks you out of it. Shift it. Make your bed. Like tell your story. Make a song. Let depression be a way for you to have a creative outlet. Oh man, I'm over my time. I'm only supposed to do this for 5 minutes. This is obviously something I'm really passionate about. I'm not yelling at you. I can't help but to communicate with passion, because sometimes when you're in depression, you need to be shook. Like, you need to be shook. This is why I'm not a licensed counselor, because that's probably not what they would tell you to do. And I have a counselor. We need counselor. We need more telehealth, more counselors, please. If you're a counselor, let me know. I'm constantly referring people. I believe in it. I believe everybody needs a counselor, whether they have mental illness or not. But sometimes we need somebody to just shake us and remind us of who we are. So let me remind you that just because you are having thoughts of suicide or depression doesn't mean you're not valuable. Let me remind you that just because you're having low self-esteem or you feel insignificant doesn't mean that you're not gifted, or that it doesn't mean that you're not significant. Your feelings are valid, but they are not always truth. So I'm yelling. I was yelling because I was trying to shake you out of it, snap you out of it. It's like splash cold water on your face. I should have did that in the beginning of the video, because sometimes that's what I needed. Like, I was rehearsing how I was going to end my life, rehearsing it over and over again. I needed to be shook. Stop rehearsing it. And I've turned to videos. I've listened to YouTube sermons, and I've called pastors and friends and colleagues, even after knowing what I know about mental health and wellness, and it helped. They shook me out of it. And I hope this video has somewhat shaken you out of it. If you're having those thoughts, please pick up I've called this suicide hotline. They'll help you have an initial conversation. They're always available, right? And then, I'm a man of faith. I wasn't always that way. I was agnostic. I didn't believe in any organized religion. I thought all religion was meant to control people. But then I found Christ in a psychiatric unit. So I know where my help comes from. And if you're a believer in Jesus, I want to remind you where to go. The throne. He said, cast your cares upon me. It says, don't even be anxious about anything, but In everything with prayer and supplication, make your requests known to God, and He'll give you a peace that surpasses all understanding. Reach out to people, model vulnerability, shake yourself loose, and call out to God. I'll see you tomorrow. Love you.